with these ideas of kind of the future of the industry, valuing the physical, mental, and financial health. Elle will talk about that, of hospitality workers and heritage, all of these themes coming together through this campaign. So make sure you're checking us out through the video cast, YouTube, Facebook, on Instagram. Instagram takeovers are happening all throughout this 4-week campaign, as well as clubhouses. So you know our deal. We're omnipresent. We want to be everywhere. If we're making memes to drop into hospitality focused Facebook groups, because that's the way people are communicating, and that's where you're going to find us. All right, that's my my quick rant for this episode. I want to bring in Elle Jarvis, founder of In the Weeds, to talk to us first. Elle, good to see you.
Hi, nice to see you, Jensen.
Yes, a lot of each other today. We just got done with an hour, 15-minute clubhouse. Great conversation there. We're taking the conversation of heritage and what's happening with the dinner series that you're doing, starting with Sicily and Kat. Before we get into all of that, In the Weeds, give us a little bit of background on In the Weeds, kind of what your mission, vision is, and then we'll figure out how the hell it got us to here.
Yeah, so I think how it got us to here is we just met each other on the internet and started talking every Friday afternoon, and then it was like, hey, we can do all these things because we're speaking the same language. So thank you for being a partner, a great partner for us on this digital game. So In the Weeds, we are a national 501c3 public charity. Our mission is to champion the physical, financial, and mental health of the hospitality professional. This was a project that I was working on pre-pandemic, and obviously in March of 2020, this project just organically came to my front burner, not only as a activism passion project, but as somebody who grew up in the industry and has now realized a point in my career that I actually can start being the person that I needed when I was younger, and digging into some resources that the younger generation can use to protect their own physical, financial, and mental health. So this can be a sustainable career for folks, but also be able to support independent restaurant owners and operators to solve some of the problems that have always been on their list, but they go further down. How to get their staff access to low-cost, no-cost healthcare, how to bridge the wage disparity between front of the house and back of the house. And in states like the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it's illegal to share gratuities whole house.
Right.
Massachusetts and New York were the last two. So we really have dived into fostering collaboration over competition. We have other partners all over the country that are in very different lanes than us outside of healthcare, but we still cross-promote each other and share resources to be able to support our industry in a more holistic health capacity, rather than In the Weeds just trying to take it all on as a brand new nonprofit with negative funding, basically.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yes.
Yep. All right. And so then for the kind of quick background for everybody, I think we first got connected through Siciliy Vila's Not 9 to 5 org. Huge fan, is on everything that we do, because anytime we're talking about especially mental health, we want Siciliy, such a powerful voice for the industry. Started kind of a coalition of a lot of organizations, ourselves included, who are really fighting the good fight, underfunded, as you mentioned, to be able to bring these stories and these resources to the forefront. And we were going to do an event, a live event, imagine that, at Aspen Food and Wine, Delta variant, all the things everybody knows. And we went to 100% virtual, and these virtual heritage dinners came about. And now you're ambitious. I love it. You said, let's go coast to coast, right? So we're doing an East Coast, a Central, a Mountain, a West. It's all over the country, right? And so we're starting out east, and I want you to introduce Sicily and Kat, and just kind of why they were, a couple of badass chefs that you wanted to make sure were in the mix for something like this.
Yeah, I think it was a mix of relying on my personal and professional relationship recommendations. So I met Sicily through Cha McCoy, who has become a
another powerhouse.
Another powerhouse. Like, I can't even begin to tell you the last few weeks when I need to get in touch with her. I'm like, Cha, where are you? Are you in Portugal? Are you in Charleston? Like, Cha is amazing. She's a wine consultant. She does travel experiences. She has her own wine club. She has her communion caviar. She's trying to open a bottle shop in New York. She's consulting for different festivals.
Purebred food entrepreneur. Just too many things and all of them working somehow.
And she just gets it. And her personality is explosive and you always feel safe with her. And I just met her several months ago as we were onboarding her nonprofit project, Lip Service, as one of our Halo organizations. And so I was introduced to Sicily through Cha. And as I was, forming the talent for the Eastern Standard Time dinner, another Halo org of our summer tour, which is a collaboration between some folks in Chicago, they worked with Nick and Chai from Fried Chicken and Caviar in Detroit. So that was a natural thing. And I really wanted to round out that panel with another woman or femme chef that was actually doing the work outside, like actually using their platform to amplify other voices of chefs that looked like her. And I found Kat and I emailed her at, I think, like 5:30 from a Panera Bread on the side of the road when I was like, that's who I need to ask, of course. Yeah. Talk about being on brand and in the weeds. And Kat wrote back in like 5 minutes. She's like, I'm in.
Yes.
Let's do it. I was like, okay, great. Can you fill out this form and this form and this form? And she's like, wait, I actually don't know how this is going to work. And it has been such a natural progression of doing this dinner in person with 7 different chefs that were bringing it all over the country. When we knew we were doing it virtual, there was no way I was going to get 7 different chefs in 5 different time zones to be able to find a date that wasn't weird. So I said, let's just throw 4 of them. Why not? So the whole idea with the virtual heritage dinner is if you're in Brooklyn, if you're in Baltimore or in Detroit, you can go to our website and buy a heat at home meal kit. We are able to, one thing that we really believe in within the weeds is we're not asking our industry to do anything for free in order for us to do our work. So our joke internally is that these bigger organizations that fundraise off the backs of hospitality are going to have to make like ballerina school or like get astronauts involved, because chefs and our talent, specifically through this pandemic, like we just shouldn't be asked for free labor or donate our like really small marginal profits to organizations that don't directly support us and our dishwashers and our undocumented workers and our wine people and our sous chefs that do all of the work for the celebrity chef to then go and present the bites.
You're currently doing that. We're coming for you, just so you know. We're changing the game because the most valuable, the most essential, we don't even say essential, we say they're indispensable people in our community so often are the ones who feed their community, and that's who we're here to amplify. So let's bring them in. Sicily and Kat, let's bring the 2 of you in. No further ado. Sicily and Kat, good to see you both. So, all right, Sicily, let's start with you. Tell us, getting involved in this heritage dinner, like what kind of does that mean for you, being able to be alongside so many female chefs that are really leading the way in the industry and being a part of a movement like what Elle and In the Weeds is doing? Like, give us your quick take on that. What does it feel like? Why are you here?
I mean, I feel very grateful to be included, and I think that what she's doing is so important, right? Because she's living out something that a lot of people will say, but not necessarily do all the time in this industry. And I was like super excited to be a part of it. And I remember when Cha was like, what are you doing on September? It was like 8th or 9th. And I was like, nothing. What we doing? I'm available. I just need a babysitter. And I think that was like the thing that I said to Elle. I was like, whatever it is, just let me know because I need to get a babysitter. And I was so sad when, everything happened and she had to make the decision to move it and change it. But I was super excited to be able to do it and keep it local and partner with people that I love, like people that I admire, people that inspire me, you know, like where my dinner is going to be. I love Happy Cork. I love the place that like I'm teaming up with. And I think that that's so beautiful, is that sometimes you go into these kinds of things where people will be like, we're going to put you with someone that we think rounds out your story to make it sound sexy, to get people to support our industry. And it was like, okay, who do you feel good about? Who do you want to work with? And I was like so impressed when she asked me that. I remember telling like my like core group of friends, she was like, who do you not rock with? And I was like, thank you for saying that, because
that's the biggest question I think with everybody. Who's a hard pass? Who's your like yoga hands? Who do you not want to work with? Because that, I think that gives us agency over our creating our brand, how we feel safe, you know, working in those situations. The first conversation I had with Jensen about sponsorships, I was like, these are the 10 people I absolutely don't want to take them.
Yeah. We're very clear on whose money was okay to be a part of doing stuff like this. I think that's important.
So incredible to me, because I think that sometimes, especially being a woman, a mom, a Black woman in this industry, you have to be like, I'm a woman, a mom, a Black mom, I'm doing the work, and then be like, but okay, I'm gonna work with this person who doesn't even have my values, just to leverage the fact to be seen, to have a voice, to make your case known. And so I was so grateful that was like the first question that she asked me. And I was like, these are the people that I was like, this is a hard pass for me. But I was like, thank you for living out, creating the space that you're trying to project out into the world.
Yeah.
Because that says something about who you are and the work that you do, to not just be like, we want to help people, and which is often the thing in our industry, right? We want to help people and it looks sexy, but then your team is like, we hate it here and we can't wait to walk out. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that. Kat, let's have you jump in. I mean, you're getting the call from the Panera on the side of the road. So much business happens at a Starbucks or a Panera, wherever the hell you're landing for that day to try and hustle and communicate in our industry. This is real talk. For you, why were you so compelled to jump on board with something like this so quickly?
So yes, I didn't know that was so he pulled over to the side of the road like that to hit me up. But anything I feel like that is aligned with my mission, I want to do. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna call myself a small town chef. I'm definitely making a name for myself. But the more platforms that I have to use to project our mission, the better. You know what I mean? Like I've created this sisterhood of Black women chefs, and I need partners to really get our voices out there. Like, yes, there's power in unity. We're unified together, but we also need allies to have, you know, fuel in the fire to help fight that fight with us. So I was so happy when you reached out to me. And so happy to see my sister Sicily here too.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
this
is great.
Yeah,
this is going to be really good. And for everybody, make sure next week you tune in as well, because we're going to have Nick and Shai from Fried Chicken and Caviar on the show as well, who are just killing it in Detroit.
Okay.
Sicily, go ahead. It's about to burst out of you. What do you got?
So I was talking to Shai today. We think that we're cousins. Like in real life, because my mom is from Detroit, Michigan, and my grandfather's last name is Walker. And there's only a small group of Walkers in Michigan. And she was like, we're the only ones left because they all moved away. And I was like, I think we're cousins. But we talk every day. Like, I'm upset.
Test.
That is like the definition of serendipity right there. Is like you just keep connecting. Good people connecting with good people is like the foundation of what we're always trying to do with Best Served. And Kat, I appreciate you pointing it.
That's my tattoo. It says serendipity.
Come on, look. Here we go. It's getting really vibey in here, and I'm absolutely loving it. I know we're going to talk about food at some point and the dinner at some point, but for now, I'm really loving the energy here. And Kat, I appreciate you pointing out you need that platform, and it's why we started Best Served. Best Served started as a and Elle knows this, and all of us know this. Like I was doing consulting work and developing concepts and stuff, and in like a 4-day span, March of last year, it went to zero, nothing. And we all. is gone. Like everybody pulled out of everything.
Contract canceled. Yeah.
It was brutal. All right. And we all know this. And I was just like, I got to hustle and communicate. This is the only thing I know how to do. And so we're just going to do that. And we just started going live. And for 5 months, we were on 7 days a week, and people just found us. And now there's 16 people working on Best Served to bring your campaign and this platform to life. And we're articles. Elle's got articles to write. We're gonna have to get her out of here because she's got articles to write. Mimi Lan is writing articles. We just did a clubhouse with amazing women who were talking about their heritage and, you know, feeling shame because they were growing up Asian American in Minnesota when that wasn't cool to be eating, you know, all of that. And so I appreciate that. That's why we built this, because we didn't want to be beholden to all the other platforms that have told us that this is the listicle that you belong on. We can change that narrative, and media is going to be the way that we believe in doing that. So thank you for pointing out that is a thesis of ours. Now, food. There's going to be food at these things, right? We're cooking, right? Let's talk about that. Elle, throw down dates for us. When is this going down? Give people a little bit of perspective on, like, what can I expect if I'm going to be a guest at one of these? How's that going to go down? And then Sicily and Kat, we got to talk food. I need people salivating over what the two of you are coming up with and putting on the menu. But Elle, break down the experience a little bit.
Yeah, so you go to our website, www.intheweeds.us/let's party. Smash that get tickets button. It brings you to our white label crowdfunding platform. All the tickets are there. They're categorized by city. You can see each chef's different menu. You can add on a shaker and spoon kit with a cocktail that is designed by Claire Sprouse from Hunky Dory Bar in Brooklyn. You can add on a tidy martini kit to be paired with Junipero gin and Chaz caviar if you want to elevate the experience.
I do.
Or if you're not in Brooklyn, Baltimore, or Detroit, you can just donate $5 to come hang out with us on the internet.
There we go.
Hey, yeah. So the pickup location for Brooklyn is at Happy Cork. They were like one of our first. I had just done my own Google search and I asked Sicily, where do you want to be? And she was like, Happy Cork. I'm like, okay, that's great. I found them on the internet, but again, they're not my homies. So maybe they're jerks. Maybe they're not. Turns out they're not jerks at all. They're totally excited. We're still working through the pickup location in Baltimore. We'll know that by end of day tomorrow. And same with Detroit, but it will be in the metro area. So you go into the retail shop, you get your meal kit, you meet the chef, say hi in person, take some selfies, tag in the Weeds on Instagram, grab your bottle of Junipero gin, who's our sponsor, grab whatever wine to support these independent wine shops that they have suggested pairings, go home, heat everything at home, tune into the internet, and here we are.
Yes, and you have a conversation there, which will be important as well. I didn't even realize that we were doing selfies. I feel like now we need a step and repeat background, get In the Weeds branding out there. Like that, I love that there can be just that touch of face to face, so that they get that bit of experience and then get to be able to interact this way and be able to be in their home, which can feel safe for them as well in this moment. So I can appreciate that. All right. And this will all be in comments to make sure that you can link out to everything. We will drop all of these, the links in so that you can navigate to those and make sure you go. And if you are anywhere near any of these drop-off locations, make sure you get on this. It's going to be an incredible meal for sure. Sicily, what are we eating? What are we cooking? What's happened? What is the sandwich ministry doing for this dinner?
Like before we get into it with Sicily, obviously we have a lot of Black women on our lineup, right? And we're all fostering relationships. And I'm just terrified every single day that I'm going to get canceled before we can get started with the work. So I'm always like very sensitive in like my first few conversations. And Sicily right out the gate, she was like, I'm doing Black food. And you can tell all the other women I'm doing Black food. And it was like, okay, thank you for that agency. Let's go.
I walk into her room and be like, I'm the Black person in the room. Welcome.
Yes.
But that's really important to me because I think that specificity matters, right? Like I hate the term POC because it lumps all of us together and it just be like, oh, all the rest of them. And so I think that like me being like, oh, I do this kind of food. Someone else being like, I do Cambodian food. Like, you know, like all of that matters to me that, oh, you have my BFF. Okay, so also my like day one homie is Night because we went to La Cuisine.
Come on, is she your cousin too?
So look, when you talk to her, be like, "Did you and Sicily ever start that roller skating club?"
We just had Night on a Clubhouse conversation. Got to learn about some new dishes. I'm fired up to go and try and cook a couple of these and make it to Oakland. And the playlist. She's talking about how music is such a big part and introducing people to kind of this like almost Cambodian kind of pop and rock.
Yeah.
I love her.
Love it. I know this is not what we're talking about, but
it is.
I went through La Cucina and we all did together. So I was like working 800 jobs and like teaching at Sur La Table and all these places. And one of my classes, like going through La Cucina, was a dinner at Reams, and they were like, "Do you want to like help like prep the meal?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm showing up." So Reem was like, "You need to quit all your jobs and you need to work for me because there's no way that you're going to start your business working all these other jobs." And so I was like, okay. So, and then her space is right around the corner from Night's space, Rema Seal. And so then Night was like, "Come get a part-time job at my spot." And then, you know, now they're just stuck with me, and I love them.
Reem and Night are in the same hood. I mean, they're in the same hood, absolute like juggernauts of like moving culture forward through food, and especially in Oakland. So I'm a big believer in everything you're talking about right now. Sicily, what are you cooking though? You got to tell us what you're cooking.
So we're doing all sandwiches. So we're gonna do, for the first course, we're gonna do an open faced sandwich with shrimp and grits. And then the second course is like this stewed chicken dish that I make because I'm like heavy on the like Black nostalgia. And it's like this dish that my mom would make for us. So we're gonna do stewed chicken with like a fig balsamic vinaigrette sandwich. And then the last course, we're going to do sweet potato cream puff sandwiches. We're going to use one of the alcohol that's, the white wine that we're doing in the second course is going to be in the whipped cream in the last course because I'm obsessed with Happy Court. And so we like picked out all the pairings for the wine for each course. That's what we're doing.
Okay. Sweet potato yams.
The yams, but you know.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Specificity matters.
I appreciate you for that. I'll be like, "This ain't a sweet potato." I'll be like, "It's a yam."
There's a difference. There's a difference. And we had Chef Amira Muhammad on talking about bean pies out in LA, right? From Islamic, and that's very different, but there's similarities. So I think there's these cultural overlapping that I think is super fascinating. And I think the specificity, to your point, does matter because then we can celebrate all of them. All right, Kat, what's on the menu? What are you cooking? I'm excited to hear about this.
I'm excited too. My first course, I'm going to do a corn soup, which is one of my favorites. It's coconut milk based. And for the main entree, I live in Baltimore, so of course I got to incorporate seafood and crab, right? So I'm doing a salmon with crab imperial, collard greens, of course, and mac and cheese. Like, you know, people in your home cities, they like always slinging plates and stuff like that. It's always on the menu. So I said, I definitely got to represent for Baltimore that way for seafood. And of course, banana pudding is a staple in the Black home for sure. So one of my chef sisters from Just Call Me Chef is going to hook up the desserts for us with banana pudding.
I love banana pudding. This is so great. So you found a way to collaborate on top of collaboration, on top of collaboration.
That's right. I could make it myself, but I need to give my sister some shine over here.
I love it. You get a gold star next to your name for that one. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we should invite her to be on the party with us.
Okay.
Why not?
Yes.
I'll start tagging her and everything.
Yeah.
She's a Muslim chef, and it was so cool when she joined Just Call Me Chef because she said, I saw another Muslim woman, and I never really see Muslim chefs out there like that. So I'm excited to bring her on for sure.
All right. Tell us about that, because we mentioned Reem, mentioned the bean pies, Muslim women coming to the forefront on the culinary. I'm interested.
Yeah, pastry chef. Pastries are her jam. And we actually had the Muslim, that woman that she saw, her name is Kiki, and it's called, what's the name? I forgot, but she's known for her bean pies, and she gave me this whole history of white beans, and I was like, I didn't even know, and they are so bomb. They're so bomb.
How is it? It's serendipity. Show us the tattoo again.
Yeah,
that today it's we got cousins, we got BFFs, we now have multiple different bean pie stories coming. This is why I do this. I love being able to connect to these stories because they're so meaningful, and I think so many people have that experience. Is Kiki with Restaurant Workers Community Fund?
I'm not sure.
With them? Okay, because I was like, it's gonna blow my mind because the James Beard Foundation just said we got to get Kiki. I was like, who's Kiki? And they said the Restaurant Community Fund. And
cuisine.
All right, I'm a big fan of everything that's happening here. Obviously, the food's gonna be amazing. The food is just the proof that we are who we say we are, right? And hearing these stories. The food will be an absolute expression of who you are, your city, right? Charm City. You're bringing that Hun energy to the dinner as well, and spreading the love. I think that's super important. So, Sicily, Kat,
her name out there who's making the banana pudding. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention her name. Her name's Bahia, and her company is called Delectable Confections. So,
Delectable Confections. We will make sure that they get linked up and tagged up as well, because. To the point Elle made, right? Making sure that we're paying for the labor is important, but acknowledgement is one of the words that is core to what we're trying to do. Acknowledgement matters. Sometimes it's the pain, sometimes it's the joy, sometimes it's the collaboration, sometimes it's who got canceled. Like all of it matters. We need to acknowledge our personal and our shared experiences. So I really appreciate that. Sicily, any last thoughts before we let you go?
I'm just excited to celebrate with everyone and them to tell their food story. That's going to be hella dope.
How about tune in on Sunday for hanging out with you and the fam?
Oh, shout out to me and my crazy kids.
Let's go.
Every Sunday we make a sandwich. This last Sunday we did churro ice cream sandwiches because we're originally from LA. And we used to go to this dope place called Churro Burro, but this week we're making, it was fire. So they made like seasonal ice cream with what?
Oh yeah, I'm from LA. Oh, I know. We got to talk.
I'm struggling because I really miss it. But so this Sunday we're making shrimp po' boy sandwiches. Well, at least I'm gonna make it, and these kids. One of my daughters does not know how to
cook. You cook, they entertain. It makes all the sense in the world.
You know what I'm saying? They rub me.
It's hysterical. Like the little one will start saying something like that they probably talked about over breakfast that she thinks it's okay to share the internet, and Sissy's like, "Don't be telling my business." Like, don't tell people this.
Don't tell people's business. She was like, "Oh, you gotta don't."
They're outing mom left and right. I appreciate that. All right, Sicily, we're gonna let you go. We'll get you out of here. Go hang out with the family. Thank you so much, Sicily. Check out everything Sicily's working on. Have a great rest of your day. All right, Kat, for you, same. Any last word? Anything you want to make sure that we hear before you get out of here? I love that you're giving so much love to Charm City. I appreciate that. It matters.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to find out who my partners are, to touch more with the people around the city, and just shouting out my organization, Just Call Me Chef, as well as my building that I'm building, a shared kitchen for women of part-time.
Kat, you're doing serious work, and I cannot wait to see how this dinner goes. It's gonna be great from all the energy that you have and the love for the city. It matters. So appreciate that. All right, we'll let you go. Kat, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Elle, your ability to find people. I don't know if you know that that's a superpower or not. It is. Finding people is so challenging, and getting people to really understand the worth that they have within the context that's been created to subjugate, sometimes self-abuse within this industry, to break out of that. You can see the energy with everybody that we're bringing into the mix, and meeting more and more people that somebody's like, who do you got to talk to? This is who you have to talk to. And I think it's really, really important. So I wanted to make sure and acknowledge you for that, because I know what a struggle it is being able to pivot, whatever that means, from an in-person event to 4 events in multiple cities across the country, steering with good people, like, what a challenge. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this journey with you. So last thoughts, let's make sure, again, let's get the website going for anybody watching. If you're listening, make sure you're getting over to intheweeds.us/let's party to make sure that if you're in one of these cities that are coming up, that you get in on this experience. And if not, just follow and connect and donate to the organization. It's doing real work. What else do we need to know before we let everyone go?
I sort of feel like we're gonna have a real big party in the spring now. We're two digital activations into this campaign, and my brain's like, we're not doing a 7-chef dinner. We're like, let's take over Ream and Knight's whole street and shut it down and bring everyone there.
Think big, yes.
That's it. Yeah, no, this is great. I'm really looking forward to the next couple weeks, and just continuing to see the energy of these conversations and start to see those organic relationships that come out. Like, I can't wait for in 6 months, if these 2 chefs that never knew each other before, I see something pop up that they're in each other's cities doing dinners together in real life. I mean, that's really what it's all about. We'll continue to have these conversations to foster safe spaces within our community and hospitality, which historically has been built on trauma, and doing that unlearning together and future building, basically hospitality at large, while having some laughs and eating some great food while we're doing it.
I like all the things that you just said. We'll continue to do those. And yes, my energy is so high and we're barely starting. So appreciate you. I know you're out on the East Coast, getting late out there. Take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next round. We're probably talking tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning. That's right. You have a great rest of your night, Elle. Thanks for a great day of beautiful and inspired conversations.
Amazing. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, everybody. That is it for this episode. Once again, this was Best Served Podcast 343. My heritage through my food is what you're going to feel. Sicily mentioned, she's like, I'm making Black food. Kat said, I am representing my city, the Charm City. Baltimore is going to be on the plate. And I think that really, really matters. And once again, find us everywhere for the next 4 weeks. Make sure that you find all this content, from video casts to clubhouses to articles. There's Instagram takeovers, so many 20 plus collaborators bringing this vision of menu and the future of our industry and how we put food on the plate and heritage together. And we are absolutely honored at Best Served to be a part of this, because this helps our mission to amplify the worth and work of those who feed their community. That's it. Appreciate you all. Cheers.